This Sunday, the 6th of February. In never-before-seen show, AphelionPOE, better known for such performances as
Bah!
Aphelion Scrooge,
Why would I want such small, insignificant currency? Chromatic orbs?
The Dark Side,
I walk alone. I've always walked alone. It has been this way ever since I can remember. It started as a rejection of being unworthy to share the company of others. It grew to an avoidance, protecting others from having to live with me. I use my ability to shape magical energy to protect the weak, to aid the needy.
He's still got to take care of the ads, though.
and at one time
Pretty
he
sure
won a
he's
race.
gonna be like, "There's one alive. He doesn't know, Chad.
One
He
monster
doesn't."
remains.
Oh, he's found it. He's found it. He found it. He found it in the end. There it is.
And Marion, better known for such bangers as
Again.
Cube Mummalay,
Oh yes, you will, baby. You will be humiliated. What? Why can't I say it? Humiliated. What is the word? Why can't I say it? Why can't I say humiliated?
getting scared by harmless fishies, and that time when Path of Exile follows you back on Twitter. Come together for a play-along, talk-a-lot session of POE in this Wraeclast weekly special. Don't miss it. Hello. Welcome back for more Path of Exile fun. And today, Wraeclast weekly special, guys. We're joined with AphelionPOE. The very same. Hello, welcome.
Hey,
How
Mark.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing today?
Very good. Got my character to maps, all that good stuff. Hope you're having a good league start.
I'm having a great league start. You know, I'm running my usual 8 hours total of sleep so far since league started. Just like every other self-respecting PoE player should be, strung out, thinking only about what piece of gear they're going to upgrade next. You know how it goes.
Oh, I wish I could boast the same hours, but not quite that not quite that far. Okay, so let's start this. This is a Wraeclast weekly special. It's just a chat show where we play the game and we talk about the game, right? And we'll start off with a little introduction. Okay, Aphelion, go. Can start
Hey guys,
with.
I'm AphelionPOE, better known as Adam. I'm a PoE player. Until recently, I was a trade player, but I've moved to SSF in the past couple of leagues now. I'm really enjoying it. I've played PoE for about 6 years now, ever since Essence League. And one of my favorite things to do in PoE is just see what the challenges are on the first day and then just go for it. I love finishing challenges in PoE, and that's 100% of what I think about when I play.
Same. So yeah, if you don't know me, I mean, you're on my channel, so it would be very rare if you didn't know me, but I've been playing for a long time, probably not quite 6 years, I want to say. Been playing for maybe like 4 or 5-ish years, PoE. I always go for challenges as well. Challenges are my jam, and we share the experience in that sense with Aphelion here. And so yeah, we're gonna talk about the new expansion and the new league, basically, our experiences and what do we like, what do we not like. And I will start with, of course, with my least favorite part of the game is leveling. So how was your leveling process with the character you chose this league? Oh, easy moding. Wow. Mm. Yeah, you started with Seismic Trap, so how did you find the changes to Seismic Trap? Did they affect it at all? A little bit? A lot? Wait. Sorry, to cut you off. I think the chat can't hear you, so we need to sort that out. Well, I think they can't hear you at all, like not input volume problems. I don't know. Let me see. So why is the volume not working from Oh, he's muted or something? Wait, can you hear him now?
No? Hello? Check. I shouldn't be muted.
Okay, now. Okay, that was a simple mistake on my part. Okay, sorry.
Oh.
Can you repeat about the seismic trap? I don't think the chat heard about the seismic trap changes.
Sure. Yeah. So just for context, Seismic Trap got the toxic rain treatment where they changed it so that increases to AoE also scale the distance that the Seismic Trap explosions spread out from, and that reduced the number of overlaps you get from each of Seismic Trap's explosions. So it was a pretty fair nerf, but I think overall for leveling, the damage is still really good. And you only really start to notice once you get the Sabo node that gives you a bunch of AoE. You do notice a little bit of a DPS hit, so I'm experimenting with Conk Effect to see if I can reverse that and still get some benefit out of it.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I don't think, I mean, when they changed Toxic Rain, it didn't really matter that much because people are still playing it just because of how it plays. So
Right.
I hope that it's the same experience with Saboteur. In the end, it will be the same experience for you.
Yeah, so far it's been great. I mean, I'm in red maps right now. I've killed a couple of bosses. I had Seismic Trap on technically a 4.5 link.
Nice.
Up until like T13 or 14 maps or so, and it was doing just fine. So I'm really glad to see that they nerfed it, but they didn't go too hard. And you know, they could probably nerf it further and it'd be all right. But yeah, that's it's going okay so far.
All right, and just before we move on to anything else, what did you think about Act 2 changes? Did you notice anything? I mean, they didn't say that there was any extensive things done to Act 2. Did you find it more difficult than before? The new monsters, did you notice any new monsters?
So I actually died in Act 2 in the lab trial. I think I had something like 50 lightning res, and I died to a bunch of bouncing sparks. So I think like a few things got a big damage upgrade, but in general, besides that, I didn't notice too much of a difference. The biggest thing I noticed was the apes have hair on their backs now.
Nice. They're not gonna be cold in the winter anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Some people were telling me that there's some kind of monster that blocks your movement skills in the Western Forest. Did you notice anything about that? I didn't. I was just running past.
Well, the only new monster, honestly, that I saw was in before creating. There was these little mosquitoes. That's honestly the only new monster I noticed.
Yep.
The Act 2 hadn't really changed at all.
Yeah, it wasn't really a dramatic change in the way that Act 1 was, right? I mean, you had to notice the Act 1 change when they did it. You step into the mud flats, and the first thing you do is get charged by Roas and die.
Yeah, after Act 1, honestly, Act 2, everything after is a breeze. because Act 1 is like setting you up for such a difficult experience.
Exactly.
And after that is...
Yeah,
I
it's kind of
personally... Sorry?
It's kind of the gameplay designers just, you know, slapping down the gauntlet and going, hey, this is a hard game. Get ready.
Yeah. And then it gets a bit easier to give you false sense of security, because we know it, you know, once you hit maps, depends on your build. So I didn't have the worst leveling time. It still took me a long time. Still took me some time to level up. Like usual League start. I did League mechanic as I was leveling. I didn't get anything good out of League mechanic. It was still fun. The third, you know, when you put 3 fragments while leveling, it was horrible. At least for me, they were really tanky. The monsters, they're still very tanky. 3 ones and 4 ones, they're pretty freaking tanky. But while leveling, I wasn't really engaging with them that much. But my build was good while I was leveling. I guess I'm just not liking it in maps, basically. I think I need way more currency than what I have right now.
What's the biggest thing you're missing, would you say?
Biggest thing I'm missing? I don't even know, honestly. I don't really play minions, so this is the first time in a long time I'm playing minions, and I just feel like, I mean, I'm missing damage, is how I feel like. But where is that damage supposed to come from? No idea. Like cluster juice, I think is a big thing, but they are so expensive. And and that jewel to make them into skelly mages. I just got it today after start. I'm actually doing chaos recipe. I'm no joke.
Oh yeah.
Actually had to do chaos recipe. Well, I'm still doing it because everything's for this build. I mean, it's super meta. So I don't know. Other people are having a much better time than I am. I don't know what am I doing wrong. But
well, that's kind of a good thing, isn't it? Like you know it's not like a dead build idea. So there's some solution, and you know hopefully you find it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's not like you're trying something completely unique where you have no idea if it's going to work or not, and you're racking your brain trying to figure out how to fix it.
At the same time, at the same time, it's a little bit like, well, everybody's having such a good time with it, and I'm just here suffering. It's like, how is that supposed to work? No, I hope that it's gonna scale up after all. Okay, so
I'm sure it will.
what do you... So, because you said you didn't use League mechanic all that much while you're leveling, and you started doing it in maps, what do you think about the League mechanic? How does it scale, the rewards, and all that good stuff?
So, I think it's actually a very rewarding league if you know how to navigate the mechanic. So for this might just be me like kind of hyping it up because I got a really good drop from it. I got a cold iron point yesterday on day 2, earlier than I did last week.
Nice.
It was really good for my build. So what I did was, and actually it feels even better because like I intentionally set up something that could maybe have gotten me a drop like that. So what I did was I set up the Shikari touched, and then I put in a Tukohama touched after that. So that gave me a whole bunch of unique items that were lucky rolled, and then just like added a whole bunch of other reward types to try to get a good drop. And yeah, one of them was a cold iron point. So I think it's really cool that you can, a little bit like Synthesis League, set up like really cool little reward chains like that and execute them and see what happens. I think that's really cool, but obviously it comes at a cost. And I kind of like that GGG, or Chris anyway, in the trailer sold us a little bit on the rewards and didn't really let on exactly how hard it was going to be, because these things are really hard.
They are proper bosses. They're proper bosses. They're not like map bosses, joke kind of thing. They're proper bosses.
Yeah, map bosses are easy compared to some of the stuff you can set up for yourself.
Yeah.
But I like it. I think that the fights feel like fun and engaging, and you know, kind of I think the word Chris likes to use is punchy. They feel kind of punchy. They're kind of a little like a mechanical dance at times, where you know they all of a sudden get some kind of crazy invulnerability aura or something, and you have to kite for a little bit. It's kind of fun to engage with gameplay a little bit, knowing that it's gonna be worth it if you can just get past that big trial.
Yeah, I've had some good well, decent drops. I did inspired by your success with Cold Iron Point. I did my own chain today with bunch of uniques. I think I dropped like 10 uniques by the end. It was really hard to kill the dude, but I did drop Taste of Hate, which helped me somewhat towards my quest to get the gear on a summoner. So it was really nice. They're really tough encounters.
They really are. The thing is though, you start to learn, like it does a good job of kind of teaching you through gameplay like what you want to avoid and what you don't. I mean, everyone's already figured out by this point that you probably don't want to use one of those like big cage guys as your last fight. They're really tanky.
or any kind of tanky monster. Really.
Exactly. You just want to find like the tiniest little bug, little skeleton, something like that. Especially if it's a really important recipe, you know. But like, I mean, that's the kind of thing that's not too like difficult to learn. You'll, you know, maybe make one mistake and then go, oh, okay, I shouldn't do that again.
What do you think about the hinting system?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm okay with it for now, but I can tell that
it's gonna get annoying.
I can tell that the lack of information like in game is gonna get a little tiresome eventually.
I mean, it would be
right
nice.
Now, it doesn't bother me.
It would be nice if there was like a separate, like a, not tab, but like a, you know, thing you can click that shows all the recipes that you've unlocked. At least it automatically, you can choose which recipe you want to highlight or something. I mean, I like the highlighting system, but at the same time, sometimes you have like 3 recipes at the same time. It highlights half of your available pieces and you're like, well, and what if there's like one of those are an unknown recipe, but there's no way of knowing because they're also jumbled.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, I'm just gonna add whatever, but
exactly.
That in-game having those recipes would be nice. I see why they don't do it, because they said, well, Chris Wilson even said it himself that they kind of expect people to remember by the end. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we'll get there with the remembering. Like right now, I know I'm looking for a frenzy, you know, because that's like the last one I need for a major recipe. It's going to be a lot to remember though, and you know we will be referring to external resources for that.
Oh, I just got frenzied. Nice. Called it.
Me.
So have you looked up all the recipes? I know there's a handy dandy website going around. Have you looked at all the recipes and been like, oh, you know what? This is the recipe I'm gonna try to chase because it looks cool.
Yeah, I have. I think that's just gonna be a smart play for. Everyone's gonna want to aim for something different, right? Like everyone's got their own strategy they're gonna want to follow, similar to the Atlas. And yeah, I've got one that I think is gonna work for me in SSF. I'm gonna be looking to make as many unique items as I can, well rolled. But it's going to take a lot to get there, and I can't imagine not having the list of recipes available and just kind of hunting for that sort of thing. I guess I'm just not the kind of player for me, discoverability isn't that important. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I mean,
like
I guess
discovering it and going, oh, cool. Some people are super into that, but me, I just want to skip to the end.
I mean, it's like one of those things for me, like, because I recently tried Diablo 2 for the first time, right? And for me, it's one of those things of how these rune words, kind of like, I mean, here we have that hinting system, okay? So we have some kind of indication what goes together. But in that game, I mean, in the game itself, there is no hinting system. Well, supposedly back in the day when the game came out, they had some kind of information of at least some recipes, right?
Yeah, they had the RES Summit. It was a website that you could look at. But like, without referring to that, yeah, you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, like how do you even come up as a single player? How do you even start finding that? So
exactly.
For me, this is the same vibe. Gives me the same vibe. Like, is this like a good time spent? Is this valuable time spent on trying to find these recipes instead of actually killing the monsters and getting the rewards and doing what I actually like instead of just faffing about, which I do a lot already. So
But I think GGG would argue that if it's not valuable to you, then it's totally fine to look up an external resource.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really have an opinion about it. I haven't played the league enough to get annoyed by this system yet, but so far it seems like it might be okay, but a little bit tiresome eventually. More on your Diablo 2 point. One of the funniest things about that was in Act 5 in Diablo 2, the questmaster gives you a bunch of runes and tells you make sure you socket them in the correct order, and the game doesn't even tell you what order.
Yeah.
To put them in.
Yeah, no, I remember that. And I was thinking, because he gives you 3 runes, and I don't remember the way they slot in your inventory. Maybe that's the correct order, but I have no recollection of exactly how they slotted in your inventory. So maybe that's how you know, but like, there's like, how do you even, they don't make any actual words, those rune words, or they don't have any kind of lore implications or anything, so they're just randomly put together. For a player like me, they seem randomly put together, those words, right?
Yep.
So
yep,
how do you even come up with any kind of system, right? It's just trial and error at that point. Like,
right.
And for me, it's like, I mean, I'm not that hardcore of a gamer, okay? I don't want things spoon-fed, but I'm willing to go look up somebody else, learn from somebody else in this kind of situation. So, but no, Archnemesis is cool. Yeah, I think it's nice and simple league mechanic that wasn't intensive on the whole server issue. So we had at least for me, I had nice and smooth league start. I didn't crash a single time.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, 0 crashes. Did you crash?
Yeah, it was relatively smooth for me too. I got 2 crashes I think, but yeah, it's fine, right?
Oh, okay.
What's the biggest recipe chain you've set up so far? Like, do you have like a lot of like Archnemesis recipe projects you're working on, or are you just trying
Well, I'm so low. Like I'm just white maps that I haven't. I mean, I did manage to complete like some kind of Shakaris, I think Shakira influenced or whatever it's called, and then I just made a bunch of uniques.
Nice.
And the other chain I made was like a bunch of divination cards, and those are the 2 chains I've done. But oh my god, were they tanky! So I'm struggling with killing them. I don't have yet, I hope, single target for that. So I'm struggling a bit with that. But the chains, I love it. When they start dropping like the 3rd or the 4th one, when you have like already like, especially with uniques, like you have like 5 uniques, 8 uniques dropping. Oh, love it. So amazing.
Yeah, it's the crazy loot pinata is really, really rewarding. I like it a lot. But yeah, it definitely is gated by your ability to kill a big rare that might be out regenning you, or just messing with you so much that you just can't get past it.
Yeah, the region ones. Oh, they are the worst. Those are my least favorite, the region ones.
The really crazy thing about the regen one, I think we're talking about Consecrator, right?
I think maybe.
They have an aura, so not only do they regen, they remove curses, and they prevent you from regenning every once in a while.
Oh damn! And did you try to put Frostbomb, or don't care? Oh, you put in Frostbomb.
I had a couple times where I was like, okay, screw this. I went back to my hideout. I'm like, Lily Roth's in my hideout now. I bought a Frostbomb, nice. Dropped my Assassin's Mark, put in Frostbomb, just spammed that.
All right.
I sat there grumbling to myself, I'm gonna play an occultist next, I swear.
Yeah, no, I have had like because of this character, I mean, when like I had one fight and I was like, I'm gonna get it on the last portal, and I switched like half the links for a single target. I don't care, just give me the kill. I mean, because he kills me. It was like temporal one and magma shield.
Oh yeah, I haven't tried that one yet.
Oh man, that was horrible.
There's some really mean mods though. Like
mean combos.
Really, really, like the mods are crazy, and then when you combo them, it gets pretty insane. One thing that I think is really interesting about that though is I think it's going to put more of an emphasis on people building for defenses and like not using as many temporary buffs in their characters. Like for example, I've pretty much dropped investment into power charges. Like as a trapper, you typically get power charges just for free for throwing your traps, but like the time I spend sitting and figuring out what recipe to do, my power charges disappear.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what good are they, And I know I'm going to get hit, so I've got to invest in defenses a bit more, at least until I can one-shot things. I think it's going to be some food for thought for this league as well.
Yeah, or this is gonna be
surgeries
like
and-
one-shot kind of shenanigans.
Exactly. Yeah.
One-shot shenanigans.
Yep.
Okay, so
sure
what do
you're
you
gonna
think
be-
about... Oh, sorry?
I'm sure you're going to be one-shot shenaniganing the bad guys soon enough, Mar.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
Scully
hope,
Mages is good.
I hope so. What do you think about Lily finally selling us gems in the hideout?
Not before.
Really good, but I never remember that she's there. Every time I think of something to buy, I keep going back to town and then going, oh wait, yeah, I can go back to my hideout.
Nice. No.
It's like with the flask change, like I've gotten just so used to being away, and then they make it better for us, but I have to actually like remember
I need
to
more
take
mana.
advantage of that. But I
Yeah.
think it's a great change.
Yeah, I didn't use her while I was leveling because it's just so inconvenient to go back to your hideout. But after I got to maps, I just put her right next to my stash, and oh, she's great. She doesn't ask you questions. She doesn't want to talk. She just wants to be. She's straight to the business. This lady.
Exactly. Yeah, she's like, what do you need? All right, get out of my face. Get back into your map.
Yeah.
Go on.
How did you like the new area that we got after you finished leveling?
It was
Was
kind
it
of
surprise?
a fun surprise to enter that portal from Act 10. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert.
From Act 10, and all of a sudden find yourself face down, butt in the air, almost like the exiles waking up from a hangover or something.
Yeah.
It's like we partied all night long after killing Kitava or something. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, it was. I explored the whole thing. Have you been talking to Kirak at all? Like, a little bit for lore geeks here. Have you?
Yeah, I have actually. He's definitely interesting. It's cool interacting with him a bit more. He's an interesting character. I like that they put a portrait in for him too.
Yeah, that's nice. They have been updating also. The trade window looks kind nicer now.
Yeah,
The trade
yeah.
window in general.
Yeah, they aren't kidding with that line when in the patch notes when they say continue to incrementally improve sound, art, and environmental effects. Like,
Yeah.
they're putting in these little touches here and there. They're just making the game better, and it's cool to see.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far, so he definitely has some hints. I don't want spoilers, okay? But I don't know. Just tell us if you've listened to all the dialogues. Does he say anything about Zana? Yes or no?
No, actually, I haven't heard him mention anything.
Okay. So there's still things for us to find out, I suppose.
Yeah, I just dropped an opulent, by the way. Have you seen those yet?
Opulent? Oh,
Yeah,
it's
there's a
valuable. It's like drops a bunch of like cool rewards or something. I think I've
Yeah,
dropped
yeah.
one.
I just dropped my second one. They're so interesting. So it just says monster is fabulously wealthy.
Yeah, fabulously wealthy.
Fabulously wealthy.
So what happened? Have you used the first one, or you have been saving it?
I used my first one. I think it just gave me a bunch more currency, but I don't remember anything super special.
I think I have one, but I wonder if it's like, I don't know how he interacts with like other peeps here. So I wonder if it's like the best thing is just to stack up a bunch of one reward, like currency or divination cards or something, and then make him give you a bunch more rewards or something. So I don't
Yeah.
want to use him in a random, because another thing, right? Since you got to maps, have you noticed? I'm sure this is not just me. Have you noticed that we are dropping more than 2 pieces,
yeah.
recipe pieces per
Oh, yeah.
per map? What
Easily.
happened with that? My theory is that they thought that 2 will be too little, people will complain, and so they cranked it up a little bit. But now my inventory is getting full all the time. I have to use them all up for every map. Otherwise, I will never get rid of them.
Yeah, what I'm doing is just not picking up a bunch of them. Yeah, I bet you that is the reason. And honestly, I think they're correct about that. Like having played this now, if we only dropped 2 per region, we'd never get any recipes done. I mean, think about like your shikari recipe that you did. Like how many maps did it take to get there? You know.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Half of the mods compared to before. You've
Yeah.
never seen the rewards.
Well, but how I'm approaching for now this whole recipe thing is just whenever there's something lighting up, I do that. So I'm making recipes always first. And after that, I just spend random pieces. And so usually I complete like the Shikari one. I just got it basically randomly because I just complete recipes. I don't even look it up. So, but
You're the target audience for discoverability of recipes.
yeah.
The intrepid player out there discovering the recipes by herself, not consulting any third-party tools.
Well, but now let's say because I'm doing randomly, right? Now, and I don't use them use these higher tier recipes straight after. So after a while, I already forgot how I got it, and there is no way in the game to show you how did I got this one. Like, what were the ingredients for this higher tier thingy? So for that, I would look it up because, like, if there was a higher, because you know there's a challenge. And I will for sure go for all the challenges. And you have to, I think, do all the recipes for challenge. So I will probably have to look this up.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So, after I ended my stream yesterday, I just sat down and took like all the recipes that I don't have, and I made like a big like shopping list of an Excel spreadsheet for like what the base pieces are that I'm looking for, because I'd keep like getting to an Archnemesis encounter and being like, can I use this one? Can I not use this one? Am I saving it for something? And what I found was that I'm one basic piece away from so many advanced recipes, but it's like a whole bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
So now I'm in this like kind of like paralyzed state where it's like I don't want to spend anything because I'm like saving for one particular drop. But I think it was at least helpful like to just see what I have and what I need to use or what I need to look for. And eventually, once I get all the challenges done, I'll probably just focus on 1 or 2 specific recipes and just, you know, use
and just ignore the rest.
Exactly, yeah.
You can,
exactly.
I mean, you can adjust your filter. These things are filterable, I think. So you can just adjust your filter. That's very nice. That's good that they made that that way.
I'm glad they did it that way too. It's tricky when you can't filter them, but you still see them. There were a couple of mechanics like that, and I think overall, I think that the mechanic is implemented really well. I like it so far.
Do you think? I mean, seeing from the trailer, right, and then the Q&A and whatever. Do you think that they have learned from previous League mechanics implementing this one, with like well, they did say that they increased the inventory space, and then they make you pick them up, but there's very few to pick up, right? And that was like kind of like, but now they increased how many you pick up. So, but at the same time, actually auto pickup wouldn't be favorable, especially because you drop now way more of them.
Yep.
So
yeah, I don't think auto pickup would be good. I mean, it's only 4. Like the complaint that people had with things like Expedition was not just that it's a lot of clicking, but it's a lot of like clicking in different areas of the screen. You have to like walk over here and grab it, then walk over here and walk over here. With these,
they drop on the course.
They drop on the course of you playing. They don't really require any backtracking unless you know your build needs a lot of backtracking. I think it makes total sense to just have things the way they are.
Yeah, I appreciate that they increased the inventory, though.
Yeah, I do too. If we were limited to a 5x5,
God,
oh my God,
have to leave so many behind.
It would feel terrible.
Yeah, that would be horrible. I mean, I am a big proponent of them even increasing it more, but I could see kind of the point you were also telling on your stream. I think that if there was infinite inventory, people would just hoard things infinitely,
I
and
really think
not do
that's
it.
true.
So I agree with that actually, and in that sense, I'm like, okay, you know what? I can live with this inventory size. It kind of makes me just do the recipes, or if I don't have recipes, just spend the pieces that are like less valuable, because why not? Maybe it drops something good.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it, as painful as it is to, you know, run into the situation where it's like, I'm full, I can't pick this up. It is forcing you to make a decision instead of just ignore it.
And GGG loves decisions.
Yep, they do. They make you make decisions constantly.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah,
I love
they
that
do.
stuff.
What's like have you fought any crazy like unbeatable monsters? Like,
Yes.
Are there any that you just had to totally run away from?
Yep.
And,
Yep.
okay.
That rejuvenation. I don't know if it was rejuvenation or that one that was. It was just massively regening. I was doing 0 damage, and I was like, well,
man.
he wasn't actually killing me necessarily, but I couldn't kill him, so I just ran away. And I was like, I vowed from then on never to use rejuvenation as a 4th piece, because I thought that's what maybe was it. I don't know what exactly I put, but I was like, never again, because you know there's like currency. Like I go for currency pieces, and it was no. Yeah, no. I just
your eyes were bigger than your stomach.
yeah, yes, pretty much. So it kind of actually in that sense, like if your character is mediocre, you know, you really have to shop with your brain a little bit then. Because it's would you rather choose something killable but you know, okay rewards, or potentially make an unkillable monster but have great rewards, you know, risk and reward kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah,
like it feels bad to like intentionally make a decision that you know isn't going to give like the chance for best rewards.
Yeah.
It is league start. It's day 3 right now, and it's so easy to like to forget that we just started, and
yeah,
there are still a lot of upgrades to make, and that's, you know, why we're playing. So that's one of the great things about this game, is that it always challenges you to keep improving, and that's just something that you can look forward to. I think is once you figure out how to scale your damage and work out all the little scuffs in your build, you'll eventually get those crazy rewards without even thinking about it.
Yeah, so how, I mean, this is your second league as solo self-on, right? So how are your league starts since you've been playing solo self-on? I mean, before you were playing trade leagues, so were you trading for upgrades a lot in league starts? Were you rushing things, or you were doing none of that stuff?
I was trading less and less over the leagues. I went from you know, starting off league and going, okay, I got to rush for like 3 chaos orbs and buy a unique and all that, to eventually just like trying to plan a league starter that didn't really need anything. Maybe I'd sell something here and there, but yeah, in general, I've been kind of slowly transitioning to playing like an SSF player over the years, and it got to the point where at the beginning of the league, all I wanted to do was just play the game. And anytime somebody would message me for a trade, no matter how big or small, I'd roll my eyes and go, I just want to play. So I think I've been slowly working up to it, I guess. And one thing that I've found that helps is to have a really good plan, a really good and a really realistic plan for how to scale your character's damage. Like where'd all the intermediate upgrades come from? You don't just skip to the final POV, level 95, influence gear, all that. You've got to figure out how to get there, and that's something that SSF has really taught me how to do.
That's very good, because that I feel like that's the kind of problem I'm having right now, is that I'm going from like super league start, which basically means the trash you find on the ground most of the time, unless you get super lucky, right? To looking at a skill tree or a guide which has, I mean, already 6 link, you know, you have all your uniques that you need and all that good stuff. And then it's like, well, why does my build feel like trash? Why does it feel like trash? But I mean, it's like, you have to be realistic. I mean, I have to manage my expectations here as well. I just feel like with what I have, I should at least be smashing white maps, you know? And then that's the discrepancy I'm having. But yeah,
so
it's...
My regards.
You don't have like any idea where the next upgrade's going to come from, or...
Well, I mean, I have some ideas. At least looking at the end game gear, I mean, I have some ideas, right? Which would be like the cheaper steps that I can take, but the cheaper steps are actually freaking expensive on this character because, you know, minions, trade league.
Yep.
And there are people who capitalize on these meta builds also. So, you know, price fixers and stuff like that. But also, honestly, the demand is so huge. I wouldn't even put it past that there are no price fixers. It's just that the demand is so huge. Because if you look at how many people are playing Skelly Mages, it's ridiculous amount. So
what percentage of the trade league players would you say it is?
Well, somebody checked earlier today, in maps, 20% of people were playing Skelly Mages.
Wow, 20%?
Well, I can quickly look that. Let's go to POE.
That's really high.
Yeah, that's really high, so I will quickly check now.
Okay. Yeah.
Just so we can have some reference points.
More on your
Okay.
point though, like I think one thing that a lot of players and took me a while to learn as well was that, I mean, whenever you're working on a project, right, the part that's going to go the best is the part that you prepare for the most, no matter how easy or hard it is. And I think when people practice their league starters, they tend to practice the campaign, but the campaign is designed to be like finishable.
Yeah.
And it's the early maps, the part that you're struggling on right now, that I think needs the most practice. When your character sucks, or you're having trouble figuring out like where do I get that next point of damage, or how do I sustain maps. I think like it's really important to practice that part more than the campaign, I would say. And that's another thing that I've started to pick up over the years is I'm spending all this time worrying about my Brutus time and my Merveil time, when really at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. The league is 3 months long, and I want to make sure that I get to T16s and have the most fun quickly.
I mean, I'm checking now, but there's 13% of all characters are necromancers, or 14%. And a lot of people are playing Absolution, or they have Absolution socketed, but that's the leveling skill that a lot of people use on this build to transition until you get the gear for the Skelly Mages. So, and there's loads of people. I mean, and when I say loads, I mean like from 68 plus, from all the necromancers, 37% are Absolution. If you go to like level 75, that's 44% of all the necromancers are using Absolution, and 10% are playing from all the necromancers playing Skellies, but like lots of people are using Absolution to transition to Skellies, so that number is just gonna go. That's crazy. That's crazy. How many people are using Absolution?
Yeah, so is Absolution just like a leveling skill then, or
Well,
are people actually doing that to endgame?
I mean, it has been buffed several times, right? And it is really good leveling skill. Now it's really, really good. The Absolution minions they slap, but it's kind of clunky to play if you don't invest in cast speed. I felt like, and it didn't feel like they killed single target very fast, but I don't know. I didn't invest in that much into that. I played it only for a little bit, and then I switched to melee Skellies. Because I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna roll that Skelly wave. And so yeah, I played melee Skellies when I leveled. But
Gotcha.
people were saying that they were playing Absolution in maps and they were absolutely slapping also. So I don't know how it scales. I don't think they buffed minions. They just buffed the on-hit damage. So I don't know. I don't know how much better it is now than it was last league. People who play Absolution in maps, they have to say something in chat. Maybe they know how much better.
Absolution experts can tell us.
Yeah, but it was good damage, right? But the clunkiness is a bit oof. But yeah, it was good damage. It was good damage. So I can see how so many people are playing it.
That makes sense. Maybe it'd be good as like a second build for me, or the interesting thing is like not just thinking about, you know, how's your first build going to end up, how are you going to scale it, but thinking about like what are you going to roll next. For me, I don't really get to decide.
Game decides for you.
The game decides for me, but what do you think you're going to do?
Well, I'm gonna play this for. I mean, I don't give up on my builds too easily. Okay, so because maybe I'm just not scaling it very well, so I probably usually give my build a week, and if it's weak, then I will reroll to something. I don't know. I think some kind of trapper. Honestly, I wanted to play. I had two ideas for league starting: either this or fire trap, ignite, or burning ground. You know. And I thought about that one, and because I played so many trappers before, I know traps are good. And they could be good. They can also, I mean, not fire trap particularly, but like other traps. I mean, I've seen Badger play ice trap, and he's slapping the bosses. So you know, traps are
Ice Trap got a
definitely
nice buff.
yeah. Traps are definitely in a good spot, even with the nerfs to the supports. I don't think they suffer too much. So maybe traps will be my next, or I will see what comes on my radar. Basically, I don't want to play. I don't know, it's a clunky build. Just don't want to play clunky build. Something that's smooth.
A lot of people
fast.
say traps are clunky. Do you feel like traps are clunky? Or-
No,
I know you're a
I
big
don't-
fan of mines.
No. I like traps. I don't think traps are clunky. I mean, there's a little bit of a delay, but your character is speedy. So I don't know. I think mines are more clunky. But
Yeah, I think it's a good lead mechanic for traps.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of
Yes.
sense, right? You just
Yes.
drop all the traps and then click the button, and the traps hit the thing as soon as it pops out.
Yep. So good. Or, I mean, I haven't fought the new bosses, but I imagine that any traps are good for any boss fight. Really. If we already know most of them, you know, like Uber Elders, your Shapers, Cyruses, so traps are good on those fights. So
Yeah,
I
they
can't
are.
see it being bad on the new ones.
I like traps. They're a great archetype. Really good starter. Don't have to worry about map mods. You can just throw in maps unidentified if you want to, and it's usually
Yeah,
fine.
beautiful, beautiful. That's the best. That is the best. Get that extra quantity, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, speaking of maps, how do you like? Oh, how do you like the new Atlas? Something valuable dropped, huh?
Yep. I just did Care Blad and a bunch of maps.
Perhaps that killing talent of yours can make a difference.
Yeah, that was my loot
Or
filter.
I have to go to work.
How do I like the new Atlas? I think it was so easy to progress. I had this interesting situation where I finished a T5, and I went and talked to Kirak, and he was trying to sell me a T9.
Oh, nice.
I hadn't even done a single yellow map yet, and he was trying to sell me a T9. And it seems like the way Kirak works now, he's trying to get you to move ahead as opposed to just
Yeah,
keeping you on the
Kirak
same tier.
has been really nice. He has like little dialogues about each of the missions also, but I think that's gonna get old really fast. I mean, it's kind of like a novelty thing. But yeah, another thing is like, I mean, we have the Atlas tree to talk about, but I don't feel like the nodes on the Atlas tree are quite so important. Somehow before this league, I thought that maybe because there are so many map drop nodes on the Atlas tree, I felt like maybe you have to spec into them to get some map drops, but it doesn't seem like the case at all. How has been your map sustain?
It's been great. Yeah, I agree with you. Like I thought that specking into the increased tier of maps and all that, like I thought you'd have to grab all of them and keep them for a long time, but no, like there's a couple of new mechanics in the Atlas now that are designed to help you with map sustain. The Kirak missions, Kirak himself selling you stuff. So I haven't really had a problem with that. I've still specced into them, but I don't feel as bad about potentially specking out of them once I'm ready to. So yeah, progressing through the Atlas has been just fine. I love the changes they've made. Oh, nice! I just got Deerstalker. I'm looking for that. I think it's great that they've made it feel a little smoother for people to progress early on, in particular. Like I think a big frustration was people not dropping a specific T3 or T4 they needed that was connected to a region that was in the corner or whatnot, had to be the specific map. That was a big pain point, I think, and they've alleviated that by kind of increasing the area of the atlas that you can progress up and giving new avenues for getting higher tier maps.
Yeah,
And I
well,
think that's really important because it doesn't slow down the sense of like I'm getting somewhere with my time.
yeah, I did have somebody did point to me the one good thing about the previous system was that let's say you wanted to farm a specific tier of a specific map, right? And that tier of map is a map that you get with watchstones, let's say, right? Nowadays, if that map is not one of the natural tiers, right? So you only can get it with watchstones. Previously, it was much faster that you could get to that map, because you only had to get so few watchstones in one area, right? Like 3 watchstones to get like a tier 11 or tier 9 a specific map. And now, to get that, now you have to kill some kind of endgame boss. But that is like very edge case scenario, of course. I mean, I don't know how much people farm specific map that previously required a certain watchstone state, but there's still that's a kind of valid point. But at the same time, for myself, I'm really happy that I don't have to do it. I don't want to... I'm willing to kill an endgame boss to get my tier 9 map that I want,
Need more mana.
Exactly. Yeah, I think they're trying to de-emphasize farming individual maps, which I'm a little sad about personally because I love just picking one map and then just go. Focus on that map and that's it.
Yeah, but what about all the favor slots?
Yeah. I mean, there definitely is. There are disadvantages to that. I think though that they're trying to emphasize, there's something to be gained from getting to the end game bosses.
Yeah. That's
if you want to farm these maps, here's how you do it. It's not like there isn't a way. It's just a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
I think it'll all work out in the end.
Also, those kind of people who did this kind of farming, in my mind, are the kind of people that could get to the endgame bosses and not be too bothered by it,
Yeah. Like usually, the biggest thing that people would do with that is farm Residence for 6 slinks, right? Residence was a T2 at one point. You just rush to that, run that map over and over, get your 6 link, and move on. Realistically, I don't know how many players were really doing that. It was more of a race strat.
Long race strat, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe somebody else can, tell me that, there was a strat that they followed that they can't do anymore.
I personally haven't done any of these kind of strats, apart from farming towers, which were the basic tier 4 already, or tier 3 last league. I never really did any kind of special thing with it previously. Like, I didn't do, like, weird watchstone mumbo-jumbo stuff. So I really... But, I mean, it is a valid thing about the watchstones. I didn't see it that way until...
Watchstone mumbo jumbo?
Yeah. Or there's still watchstones to be had. So maybe we'll start mumbo jumboing there.
Well, it's gonna be a while before we can mumbo jumbo with those.
Yeah.
We've got to kill some pretty fancy endgame bosses to get those.
Yeah. Okay, now... We talked about the Atlas. It's great. Favorite slots, awesome, right? Have you slotted any favorite maps yet?
I have not. I haven't gotten to... So I've only killed the Black Star and the Infinite Hunger. I haven't gotten any favorite map slots yet. I should be able to soon-ish. But just like with the way that the math works out, I think it's going to be... The favorite map system is going to be a lot more effective.
And that you can also put 12 of those? 12 of those? I mean, something like tower farming. I mean, let's go. Let's go.
Exactly.
Tower farming is back on the menu. I don't know.
You just need a strong enough character to actually run tower now that it's a higher tier.
Yeah, well, it's tier 4, I guess, but I wonder if... Because last league, it was so beautiful to farm towers because of the league mechanic, It gave you so many extra monsters that could drop you... also rare monsters that could drop you all those cards, right? So now I mean, you can juice all the maps with like extra pack size, right? Because you can have the you can have the strong boxes, shrines, all the extra monsters you could pack in the map from the Atlas tree. But you don't get any monsters from the league mechanic because, I mean, apart from the first one, I don't know what kind of magic finder do you have to have to kill the tier 4 one, even in red maps. Sorry, even in white maps. Like, that guy is really tanky.
Yeah.
So I don't think people who are magic finding are even gonna engage with the league mechanic, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think magic finding isn't quite as realistic this league. Last league, I don't know if we'll ever see a league like that. for
Yeah,
magic
oh
finding.
my god, all the extra stuff it was dropping, not only like currency and cards, right?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was
great.
cool seeing everyone get headhunters.
Yeah, even in solo cell phone, right?
Yep. Although I didn't. Okay, I did not deserve my headhunter.
What do you mean? You
not
100%
deserve it.
deserved your headhunter.
No, I didn't. So here's how I got my HH last league. I dropped 2 nurses just from stacked decks, so not even from tower, just from stacked decks. I harvest duped those 2 into 4. I harvest duped those 4 into 8. I turned it in for a doctor. I harvest duped the doctor into 2 doctors. I dropped a random 3rd doctor in Spider Forest, and then harvest duped the 3 doctors into 5 doctors.
I mean, that's
did
a
not-
dream scenario, really, isn't it?
It is, but I didn't deserve that. It was
What do
like
you-
everyone else was, busy farming tower and actually working hard for it. And meanwhile, I'm over here going, "Hey guys,
I mean,
anyone got some doctors?"
for every doctor that's getting deleted by Harvest Gamble, somebody has to be getting them, so I'm glad it's somebody playing solo cell phone, instead of somebody who has like 50 headhunters already.
No,
That's
just
great.
saying, it's about time that I actually got some good RNG.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more NG for me though. No shaped headhunters or 3
Yeah.
HHs in a league. I have to work up to your level more.
Yeah, a
And,
little bit, Still
I have
some
dreams.
early days for you. That's great. So you did look at the challenges. I know last week there were some challenges that were questionable for solo cell phone. I don't know if you in the end completed it in solo cell phone or just migrated. I think you migrated
Yeah.
your character, right?
I ended up migrating. I finished every challenge except for the Domain of Timeless Conflict. I pretty much started farming for that challenge from day 1 of the league. I moved, what was his name? Vagan in Betrayal into Intervention and just farmed Scarabs, Legion Scarabs. I turned every other Scarab I had into Legion Scarabs with the vendor recipe. So I came up with 21 sets, which is not easy to do
Yep.
without trade.
Yep.
And I ended up getting 3 Unrelenting Emblems and 2 were duplicates.
Yep.
It was
So painful. Just listening
was
to
a-
it.
it was a big loss, but it's a challenge that wasn't designed for SSF, and the game shouldn't be balanced around this game mode, right? It's balanced around trade. So I took my L.
same
I migrated.
Yeah, I see your point, but at the same time, I feel like it was a bit too unreasonable. If you could at least change the emblems with Harvest, I feel like it would have been. I mean, in that same sense, you didn't even get 4 emblems, right? So it would, if you wanted to complete it in solo cell phone, you would still have to keep farming, but at least you got something. And did you have a chance to look at the challenges this week then?
Yeah, I did. I'm very excited about them. Have you?
I mean, I looked at the endgame grinds and I decided that they are quite doable. So
Yeah, I agree. I think the endgame grinds are very doable this league. Some of them even almost feel like, I mean, unless there's something I don't know yet, some of them feel like they just
Too
give them
easy.
to you for free.
yeah, I had the same thing when I looked, and now I'm thinking, what if those bosses are actually gonna be really hard? Because there's like conditional boss thingies again, and I'm thinking, oof, these are gonna kick my butt because.
There are a lot of skill challenges this league. A lot of don't get hit by this while fighting this monster and all that. I know there are a lot of people who don't like those. I like them personally. They're kind of exciting, and they're the kind of challenge that really feels good to beat because that whoever designed the challenge was sitting there going, they're gonna hate this one.
Unless you find a cheese, which is
Yeah.
still kind of cool because you found a workaround, right?
Yep. You gotta get that win somehow.
So you think you will be able to do them in solo cell phone then?
Oh yeah, I think so. It's just a question of time, right? I mean, look, anyone who was able to do the ultimatum skill challenge can probably do the ones this league.
Okay. So I could be possibly do them without cheesing it.
Yeah.
And
I
so
think you
what
do.
do you think about the rewards now for the challenges? Are they not sexy?
It's really cool seeing them put more incremental rewards in between 24 and 36.
Yeah.
Even putting one past 36.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
I know there are a lot of people out there who just get to 24 and quit, but I kind of wonder how many people are going to get to 24 and then go, I could just do 2 or 3 more and get another reward.
when I didn't see the actual rewards, but I saw that somebody said, "Oh my god, we're getting more than 3 rewards." And first thing I was thinking, "Oh my god, those mad lads actually did. We're getting a new armor set." And then I was kind of disappointed. But you know, the new rewards look cool. I feel like they will be nicer than last league's. I mean, aesthetically, I didn't like the last league rewards. They were kind of like too grim, a bit too grim for me. But yeah, really cool. I really like that. Even 38. That is, you know, when you get to 38 challenges, you're pretty much committed to the league, right?
Oh yeah.
Usually people who go 38 also go for 40. Not always, but come here. My doggo is saying hello. Come here. You want to say hello? No? Come here. Yes. Venga, sube. Come here. She's being a little bit shy. But yeah, so people who usually go for 38 also get 34. So you get rewarded a little bit for your commitment to the league. Come here. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, I think it's great. And they're kind of tempting you to just maybe stay on for a little bit longer and finish some more challenges. I think I wonder how many people they're going to hook with that strategy.
Well, I've seen people already write, it's like, I never go for 36, but this league I'm gonna go for 38, and I'm like, yes, converted, cha-ching. I mean, I always not recommend necessarily, but like, I'm all for challenges if people want to do. I mean, this is what motivates me to play PoE. Well, killing bosses and doing challenges, right?
Yep.
Being able to kill the bosses and being able to do the challenges on my own. That's really fun and exciting for me. So
yeah, it's fun filling progress bars. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm very excited about the challenges. I think they're pretty reasonable. There's a lot of skill challenges which I am gonna enjoy. I know there's people who don't like those ones as much, but they seem carryable if if someone has a friend who can bring them through. So overall, they're really trying to go hard on getting people to stay around for this league.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't think even if they hadn't done the challenge thing, I feel like people would stick around anyways because of the Atlas changes and the skill tree, the end game changes everything. And also, really, they didn't change that many things from last league in terms of, well, there were some nerfs, there were some buffs for skills, right? But the skill tree barely changed.
Yep.
The most builds that were good last league are still good this league. None of the auras changed. The defenses didn't change. The spell suppression didn't change. There's there's lots of options. I think that could be one of the reasons why people stick around. Plus the new endgame stuff, right?
Yeah, I think it's really good that they didn't nerf any of the defensive stuff. I mean, it would feel a little cheap for them to go on this whole big defensive rework and then kind of backpedal on it and going, I think we went a little bit too far. I like the way defenses feel now. I wish we had more options for making a character feel tanky, but I mean, it feels exciting being able to tank things that you normally wouldn't be able to. I think that almost feels better than like dealing a ton of damage sometimes.
Yeah, agreed. I definitely appreciated spell suppression. I think it was my most favorite new mechanic, I guess. Spell suppression. I'm happy that they didn't change it. And honestly, people putting more auras, like defensive auras, because in the past, at least I would always just put damage auras and then forget about defenses because you kill everything so fast. And now people put the offensive auras, but they also try to squeeze in some defensive stuff.
Yeah, in the past, Grace was only for making Queen of the Forest run faster.
Yeah, basically.
But I feel like in PoE, it used to be about pathing your tree to as many life nodes as you can, and you kind of make your build that way. Now I feel like it's about pathing to as many aura clusters as you can.
Yep. People try to accommodate some aura clusters in their builds nowadays, for sure. That's nice to see.
Yeah, like running Grace, Determination,
Purity
Defiance
of
Banner.
Elements.
Yeah, Purity of Elements is really good. It's cool to see, and it's an interesting paradigm with playing PoE builds, is emphasizing defenses. And the reality of the game is it just feels so much more fun to play when you don't die.
Yeah, so much, even on softcore. I think that softcore, I mean, the softcore mindset still stays, right? You may always a little bit prioritize the damage over defenses, but really, I feel like that's kind of shifting already. Because it was all damage, no defenses, and now it's getting a little bit more balanced.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
so
I
now...
think it's made the game a lot more exciting to play.
Yeah.
You can level more easily. It's been great. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so now the elephant in the room, of course, is the Atlas passive tree. Thoughts, feelings? Reveal reactions?
I loved it when Chris in the trailer revealed it and went, good old Path of Exile.
Yeah. We're so used to passive trees already. Why not one more?
Yeah, why not? The really cool thing about the passive tree is seeing how many different approaches people have had to it. It feels like everyone has their own take on what they want to go for, and I think seeing how many differing opinions and differing like goals people have or pathing kind of means that trees is a success, right?
Yeah.
Like you really can customize
so much
the content that you want to run, and you can respec it easily, which is another big win. I think it's done a lot for the game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the reveal itself is like, wait, what? What is this? I mean, you already have like the changed Atlas itself and the progression, the new progression and so on and so forth, right? But then when they revealed that, and after that, I think my brain shut off because I don't remember processing any other more information.
Yeah.
Because I was still thinking about it.
I think I was more excited to get like an Atlas passive planner into my hands than I was for planning a build.
Yes. Oh, yes. I mean, this league, I knew that I'm not gonna be making my own Krangle build. It was like, I'm gonna yoink somebody else. Give me that Atlas passive tree when.
Exactly.
So how have you experienced it so far? Getting the points and allocating them, and how does it feel, the rewards and so on and so forth?
You get them very quickly, like very, very quickly, almost fast enough that there's there's enough time for you to kind of second guess your choices as you're doing them, or at least it was for me anyway, because I had a plan and then I'm playing and I think I changed my mind like 3 or 4 times as I was pathing. I ended up going for Essence nodes, Harvest nodes, and Expedition. But I'm glad that the Orbs of Unmaking are common because I'm going to be respecing very, very soon.
I need more mana.
Focusing more on the endgame bosses.
What do you think about them not only increasing the drops of these Unmaking Orbs, right? But they also sell them from Kirak.
Yeah. Yeah, for 2 Regret Orbs.
Yeah, do you think that's nice? Do you think that the respecking is gonna be common?
Oh yeah. I mean, take a look at the challenges, right? So even just
true.
looking at the challenges, you're gonna have to respec your tree several times to get a few of the challenges done because they actually can't be done without allocating a few points on the Atlas passive tree.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, previously it made a lot of sense to, for example, there was that node that made it more likely to drop a Watcher's Eye. You didn't really run around with that one allocated all the time, right?
Yeah.
You refunded something and then ran your
Bunch
elders
of them.
all in one go, exactly, and then respect it. And I think that's still possible, and and probably the right play, but just a bit easier now.
Yeah. I agree about that part. I mean, I feel like for the endgame nodes, like, so the boss nodes, right? I feel like some of them you could spec into and leave them, right? And because, you know, like for example, the Conqueror one, you have higher chance to drop the Conqueror maps, and then you have Elder Shaper Guardian maps or Synthesis maps to drop more commonly, right?
Yep.
So those nodes you could definitely keep forever, but the rest of them, like if you're farming only Maven, well, you spec into Maven, right? If you're farming only Exarch, you spec into the Exarch, and so on and so forth. Or the other branches of the skill tree. So I think there will be some unspecking going on, but like, I mean, personally, I probably, if I respec my whole Atlas passive tree, it will probably happen only once, because I'm going from leveling kind of character to kind of endgame farming character, you know? But I could see lots of people respecking several times, farming different things.
Yeah, the choice is there if that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
I think it's a great system.
So have you noticed rewards already? Payoffs?
The essence rewards are the biggest ones so far, I think. Like the duping of the monsters that have shrieking essences, I've got so many essences in my tab. I actually think I need to unspec those nodes because I have more than I need.
Is there such a thing as having more than you need? Too many?
I guess not. I guess not. But like essences are really good for sort of like early mid-league crafting. And
that's true.
I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm gonna start needing influenced items. So I'm looking for like, how do I get Conqueror maps? So I might not need essences anymore.
Right. So, and I mean, I haven't done it yet because I haven't found any. But how does it feel like putting those, you know, because you can choose between Exarch, Eater of Worlds, and Maven on the Atlas. Like, how does it feel allocating these boss influences to the maps? Do you feel like
I'm running an Eater of Worlds map right now, and it's interesting that the shrines, the little shrines that make you choose between, like, do you want to buff up the boss or do you want to buff up the zone? I think I'm glad that we played Expedition and they kind of prepped us for reading, because you better read those mods. Some of them are pretty insane. I think it's a really cool thing though. Don't play a Fizz Trapper and accidentally click on map boss gets plus 50,000 armor.
Oh god.
Don't do that.
Sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Yeah. I've heard people say good things about those little I don't know what they're called, some kind of shrine thingies.
They're little shrines, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. There is a little bit of weirdness with the with the map device. So I guess like you don't have to fiddle with watchstones very much anymore, but it may be that you have to fiddle with the buttons on the map device for applying a specific influence.
Really?
Yeah, like you have to manually switch between them at times, and I can see that being a little like micromanagey, kind of like watchstones, but I don't think it's going to be as bad.
I mean, because in my mind, it wouldn't be so fiddly unless you're going for the first bits, you know, because you have to do like certain amount of each of them before you get the big boss, and then you drop them itemized that you can trade to other people and roll them within mods, right? After that, I feel like you will most likely spec into one of these things and then farm them a bunch, and then spec into another thing, farm that a bunch, and so on and so forth. At least that's how I'm gonna approach that. Maybe people who are trying to min-max absolutely everything, maybe they will switch between everything, but I don't think so. Maybe.
So yeah, I just clicked on this shrine over here, and one of the mods was, for example, reduced recovery rate of life, mana, and ES per endurance charge.
Oh god.
Here's another one. It gives me duped currency items.
Wait!
Minus 40 cold and lightning res.
You get more than one shrine?
Yeah, this was my third shrine in the map.
Oh, Oh, okay. I thought you only get one and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you get several shrines. Holy
Yeah.
shit, so you can make it much harder.
Yep. So I'm running around with minus 40 lightning and cold res right now.
Oh, damn.
Well, not minus 40, but like
Yeah, 40 less
yeah.
than. Yeah,
Yep.
wow. Okay,
Yeah, so
that's
you've got to read, kind of like Expedition.
wow. Okay, yeah, that's definitely you definitely need to read that. So you can stack some crazy insane.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, here's 2 more shrines actually.
Crazy insane. Mods. Apart from map mods, on top of map mods, that
Yeah,
is.
and it's crazy to think that this is all core. This is all
Yes.
core content now.
Wow. My god, I'm so jelly that I'm not that far yet. Damn it.
Well, I can't wait to see what you do. 'Cause, I mean, you're the one with all the RNG, and you're gonna
Yeah.
get some crazy stuff, and be a YouTube highlight.
Yeah, yeah. Just like Humumulate, it's gonna be Humumulate 2, Ma
Yeah,
Returns.
you're gonna humiliate all of us.
Right, so, have you fought, I mean, there are 4 new bosses, right? 4 new bosses as far as we know, because, we don't know if Sana maybe is cooking up something for us. We don't know that, right? But have you fought any of the 4 new bosses?
I have. I fought the. I'm not as far as a lot of people are, but I fought the Eater of Worlds, and I fought the Black Star.
What do you think about the fights? Because here, this
they're
is you,
really-
all you, yeah.
They are really cinematic kind of fights.
Oh.
It's like visually very impressive. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of focus on like the arena and manipulating the arena and kind of responding to not just what the boss is doing. I feel like I barely even paid attention to what the boss was doing most of the time in those fights. I don't know how I feel about that personally, but and there were some confusing elements in the Infinite Hunger fight that I'm sure you'll find out as well. But overall, they were really cool, and it's cool to see the game like looking like a more modern game now. The animations were really cool and
Sleek.
impressive, and the sounds are awesome, and it's just like it's a really cool like gameplay experience, I'd say.
That's nice. I mean, I think I've seen like some people do a little bits, but I don't stick around too much because I want to go in blind the first time I do
Yeah.
it. So I don't want to really stick around too long.
Yeah, me too. I wanted to go in blind.
So I want to experience that myself. And so because you were doing them basic boss fights, right? These were part of quest chain initially. How do you think we're gonna fare against the ones that, because you can apply map mods basically to these? How are we gonna fare
Yeah.
against these? Because there's some challenges with that.
Yep, there are, and not just map mods, but there are some new map mods too that are really, really savage. I'm looking forward to fighting one of the end game bosses with a bunch of consecrated ground everywhere, and then healing a bunch.
Yeah. Sounds like fun time.
Yeah, fun time, right? It's gonna be an interesting challenge. Let's just put it that way.
Do you think it's gonna scale similarly to how you can those Maven boss fight invitations with doing them rare versus doing them white?
I think so. I think so.
Similar vibes.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, so
the
pretty
Maven
tough.
invitations, you can really ruin your own day with the Maven invitations. If you're going for 8 mod feared or whatever.
Oh, yeah, 8 mod feared. Sounds like good times. Have you done any of the Maven invitations?
I have. It's really cool how kind of seamless the end game flows together. They're trying to get you to do a bunch of maps at the same tier and do sort of all 3 end game boss progressions at the same time. They don't signal it very well to you, so like you have to run like an exactly T11 map to progress the next part of this, and exactly T12 to progress the next part of that. Like they really want you to step up evenly with all 3 of them. I can hear borking.
Sorry, just a second.
Marstream and Barking Doggos. Name a more iconic duo. I'll wait.
Sorry about that. Doggies are overexcited that there's somebody rang the door. Yeah. I mean, we did get a new, right? We get a new Maven's invitation for Conquerors.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be interesting. It's been a kind of an interesting journey for Cyrus.
Yeah,
because
so I'm trying to understand that one. So the story takes place right after Cyrus destroys Oria, right?
Yeah, but we're not part of it.
Yeah, we're not part of that.
We kill Kitava and then somebody else kills Cyrus.
Yeah, who killed Cyrus?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what it was strange to me, because I was thinking about this before, is why does... So Cyrus Conquerors get an invitation, right? Every invitation you kill gets you Atlas points, right?
Mm-hmm.
But... Cyrus himself, as a boss fight, supposedly doesn't give you anything.
Oh, really?
I don't think he does. Oh, so this why am I thinking that? Because if you the Void Stones, how do you get the Void Stones? They're big boss fights, right? And Cyrus is not one of those boss fights, even though, and they include the Uber Elder, which is much older boss than Cyrus.
For some reason, I was thinking that Cyrus was one of the ones for a Void Stone.
No, you have to kill the Searing Exarch, the Eater of Worlds Maven.
Oh.
And then Uber Elder. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Turn off the heater. So that really surprised me, because the Conquerors get the new iteration of content, right, with Maven's invitation, but Cyrus is like kind of left out. He's like, I mean, he already got possessed by Elder.
Yeah.
We abandoned him once, like Zana abandoned him once, and now he gets abandoned another time. Like, dude.
Yeah, he wants to be a big, bad, dangerous guy too.
Yeah, he can't catch a break. Nobody pays attention to this poor little dude.
It's okay. We'll farm him a couple times.
Attempt Crate in chat points out, like, what did we do for a year? Because we supposedly wake up in this hut. After a year has passed, what do we do for a year? Yeah, what? Because we are not the ones that kill Cyrus, because from the dialogue you can tell that they are talking about somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do
Maybe we were just partying and we woke up hungover, and one day we wandered over to Kirak and he's like, hey, get to work.
We sniffed too much azurite or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang. Okay, now we, from that nice light-hearted little tirade, we come to the last topic, which is crafting. How do you feel about the new crafting related things in general? Influence, farming, all that good stuff.
I'm not that excited about the new influence implicits, to be honest. I can see why they're interesting. They're meant to be sort of an intermediate between normal gear and influence gear. But a lot of the time you're going to want something very specific for an influence mod. And the fact that you can't roll that using harvest or essences or any other way, or fossils, combined with, they drop, but not often enough for you to target something specific. For me, I think, and also that combined with how often you tend to replace gear early on. So you might get a good implicit on something, but then find that you need to replace it anyway. I'm not that excited about it, and I'm not quite sure where it's going to fit for my end game plans. But there might be some crazy combo that I don't know about yet that I'll discover. What do you think about them? Have you used one yet?
No, I haven't. I've gotten a few. I haven't gotten nothing. I mean, can you use them on uniques? I don't think you can use them on uniques,
I don't think so, no.
So I haven't gotten anything worthwhile using, even just to check something that you get, right? The tier 1 baubles. Like, I have I have 2 uniques, and the other 2, I mean, I guess I could use this on these boots. I will try. I guess I can try, but I just haven't gotten good enough gear that I feel like, you know what, this one is the one I will try these things on.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem I had. Was I found a couple of those ichors. I think that's
Yeah.
how you say it. And then I thought to myself, okay, like they're common. I could use it, but what would I use it on? Because everything
Yeah.
I was wearing, I knew I was just gonna
Gonna
replace
replace
pretty
soon. Yeah.
Yep.
I have the same problem.
I mean, maybe that's just like a me problem, and I shouldn't be afraid to use it, knowing I'll replace it.
Well, the question is, can you upgrade the lower tier ichors into higher tier ichors?
I don't know about the ichors. I know you can upgrade the mods using Orb of Conflict,
Yeah.
but I don't know about the currencies themselves.
So, if you can upgrade, then it's worth saving the lower ones that you find from maps. But if you cannot, then honestly, it's like might as well put something on your gear, right? Because you won't be
yeah.
able to upgrade them. The currency items, you won't be upgrade them to the higher tier. So they're just gonna sit there in your stash.
Yep, that's true. That is
So
true.
yeah, so for me, I probably upgrade, not upgrade. I probably use them on some gear, just because I
Yeah.
can.
Maybe it's just that knowing that knowing that we'll get something better later on anyway. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just like a hoarding problem.
Yeah, maybe. But
I am a hoarder too. You
I know
get
your
this
pain.
Kind of, yeah, you get this kind of worry that what if I'm not making the right choice? What if I do this and then I have to replace it soon?
yeah, that is a big problem. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the way we've been playing the game, right? It's usually you're looking forward to big upgrades. Small little upgrades just don't usually do it for you. Like tiny little upgrade. Maybe when you're leveling is okay, but when you're in maps already, you're kind of looking forward to these big upgrades, and some little small upgrade maybe just feels too insignificant, and you're just like, well, might as well save up for something better. But maybe that's what GGG wants you to avoid, because there's 4 tiers of these things, right?
Yep.
And plus there's the Orb of Conflict, so there is lots of scaling.
Yep.
In terms
Yeah,
of gear progression.
It could be a don't be afraid issue, but it's hard because I don't like RNG and crafting personally. I don't mind it. It is exciting, but when it comes to using the orbs, I want to have like as much of a guarantee as I can that I'm gonna get something good out of the orbs that I use. But just like the fact that there's no guarantee and you're kind of just throwing a bunch of them at your item and hoping something is good, that to me doesn't feel as useful or feel as exciting.
Well, the good part about these orbs is that you don't change your item, right?
That's true. Yep.
So the potential loss is less than it would be, and you not necessarily need to use these orbs for the implicit itself, because you can use them to do some nifty crafting, right? With the new currency, which is not very common, of course, but
Yep.
the changing whichever implicit is dominant lets you either change suffixes or prefixes with these new orbs. That's kind of nice. Like
Yeah, that's the Orb of
harvest, right?
Conflict, right?
Huh?
That's the Orb of Conflict from the Maven?
No. Not Orb of Conflict.
Which one was that one again?
No, it's just that those how is it called? Eldritch Exalted Orbs. Eldritch Chaos
yes.
and stuff like that. They work differently depending on, well, not differently, but they work on suffixes or prefixes depending which influence is the dominant, whichever is higher tier, right? So you only need to use the tier 1 or tier 2 orb, and you can manipulate your item better, I guess, or a specific way. I guess you haven't dropped a single one, because if you...
Nope.
Yep. Chris Wilson did say they will be quite rare, but... Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that is a good point. I didn't think about those. It seems like that's an attempt to make this crafting mechanic competitive with influence items, and it might work, actually. I mean, because there are some good implicits, and I guess the difficult part is getting the ones that you want into position and making sure that it's the actual end game item you want, and there isn't a better option.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just on surface value for me, it's going to be tough to replace something as powerful as, like, say, Curse on Hit, or
well,
+1 Curse, or all that good stuff.
+1 Curse, but Curse on Hit. You mean Curse on Hit in terms of like corruptions on gloves?
Oh no, like an influenced ring.
Well, those influences don't exist anymore. They remove Curse on Hit.
The mark on hit, I think they were.
Oh,
isn't that right?
Did they just remove mark on hit then?
I think so.
Oh, okay, then I was overly harsh. When I reviewed the balance manifesto. Okay, it was just a mark. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I somehow convinced myself that it was all... I don't know.
That was all of them?
That it was all the curses, and I was like, oh my god, like there's all the other curses that are good for casters is gonna be pain in the ass now, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that would have been painful.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so like anything that you craft has got to be competitive with something as strong as an influence modifier like that.
One would say that influence items is harder to craft, but they come out. I mean, they come out really potent, though.
Yep, they do. They do. I like having big crafting projects like that. You get your influence base, and you kind of work on it for a long time, and try to make something really big.
I suppose.
And eventually you get it. Usually it involves harvest. Usually involves some kind of meta crafting.
We shall see how far you can be pushed.
And I can't see needing to work that long on the Eldritch implicits, but again, like I haven't gotten enough time to play with them. I mean, I've got 2 Eldritch implicit items here. This one was very lucky. It came out with 2 good implicits the first try, but obviously they're very replaceable. Just global fizz and evasion rating.
No, I mean, it's a little something to patch some holes.
Yeah, exactly.
Still better than not having them, I suppose, but...
Exactly, yeah.
Have you looked at all the possible mods, though?
I have. They seem like they're just designed to be stopgaps before you get your influence stuff. But
So you don't think you will see people like these people who min-max their items, let's say, using these new influence implicits instead of old influence items, like double influence items with elevated mods?
I think there'll be some, like it might be a combo, but I think it's going to be a combo swayed in the direction of the old style influence items.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of really good Eldritch implicits that, like, for example, the conversion. Oh man, just having conversion implicit gloves, that was a synthesis thing before. And now you can get it here, right? And that's going to be very tempting.
Oh, I wonder, did they bring back the most OP synthesis mod that they removed eventually, right? That the monsters explode. Exploding mods. Maybe that's how they bring it back.
I didn't see that in the list, but maybe.
Probably not. I mean, they removed it from the influence mod pool also, so I don't think them bringing back as an implicit is gonna happen. But that would have been nice.
It would be nice. I like blowing up the screen.
Oh yeah, so nice, so nice. Good old times, right?
Good old times. All the crazy occultist shenanigans with Blade Vortex and Impulsa and all those other crazy builds. Explodey Chest.
Yeah. Right, I think that's pretty much covers all of it. Do you have any other thing you want to talk about?
Sure. I'm having a lot of fun, and it's really exciting seeing people jump back into the game. I feel like the PoE community is at a
all-time high.
Almost feels like an all-time high right now.
Yeah.
The game launched in a great state. It's great seeing my friends list full of people, and I hope people stick around and get those challenges.
What do you think about the Doom and Gloom team, let's say team, where the Lost Arks, the Elder Scrolls, and all those other games, do you think they will affect a lot not the community, but the retention, let's say?
Yeah, I think I don't know if Doom and Gloom.
Elden Ring,
is-
sorry.
Yeah, Elden Ring, yeah. I think people are definitely entitled to their own opinion, and
Yeah.
the way I look at it, it doesn't affect me very much. I just like playing PoE.
Yep,
And I
same.
think one of the great things about being a PoE player is anything else that happens in the gaming community, if something has a bad launch, if some game developer does something that nobody likes, doesn't affect me in the least. I have
Yeah.
this game, I like playing this game, and I'm gonna keep playing this game.
Same.
It makes me glad to see other people enjoying it too. If people need a break from it and want to go play something else for a bit, they're absolutely allowed to do that.
No, of course, but I just feel like, just like when Maven released, right? This has been received really, really well, and plus, the overall steady league launch also adds to that. Like, people are happy. There's so many new things to do, and in that sense, I'm just wondering, are people, now that they've seen, oh dang, PoE actually amazing state right now, right? Fun to play, loads of things to do, explore, and all that good stuff. I wonder if all the people who previously said, well, I don't know, are those people are going to be convinced now that actually no, PoE, very good.
I mean, I hope so. Some people might hear that and think, okay, like maybe I'll jump back into PoE when I'm done playing some Lost Ark or some Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And that's totally okay too. The important thing is PoE is in a great state, and I think the people who are maining PoE right now are really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope when people come back to it, they have a similar experience. I mean, we've all got our little complaints.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, we love this game. We want to see it succeed, and right now it looks like it's heading in that direction.
Right.
That's what I
Okay. All right. One last thing. Jesus, I died. One last thing, actually. I forgot to talk about this when we talked about the bosses. What do you think about that boss race event that they put up with especially the prizes and how fast people did it? Because I think there's already a winner, right?
Yep.
What do you think about the boss kill event?
It's really exciting to to see more people jumping in on that kind of thing. One of these days, I'm gonna have to sit down and watch like Steel Mage's stream or something and see exactly how you do that.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's magic. It's magic.
I'm always in awe of the amazing skill level.
Have you
of the
been
people who come
watching?
and play
I
this
probably don't have time to watch anybody, but have you been like peeking in on some of these racers, or not really?
No, I've kind of just been head down, focusing on my own game.
Yeah.
But
Same.
it'd be really cool to like go back and rewatch some VODs or just like talk to some people who watched more closely and just get some strategies or get some pointers, because I'm always interested in improving my game. And what better way to? I mean, access to the best players in PoE is easy. You just click on their channel, you can see everything they're doing and copy it yourself if if you're interested in that. So
Yeah, that's.
that's something I like to do. Is I think it's really cool seeing big challenges like that with big stakes, really cool rewards. PoE is becoming kind of more of a spectacle game, and I like the direction that's going too.
But
it's
how
seeing
cool are those rewards? Like they get to design their own unique.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They
I think
even
that's great.
stopped selling people. Wait, you could design uniques in the past, right? For supporter packs, I think.
Yeah,
or-
if you bought supporter packs a long time ago, I think like open beta maybe you could. If you spent enough money, you could design a unique or something. It was like thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
do
so that is actually insane.
Yeah, it really is. So they're offering the chance to do something that's worth a lot of money. A lot of the racers though they stream for a living, so that kind of thing is probably not as interesting to them than getting money so they can pay the bills. But,
Yeah.
Just as a
Well-
casual observer of the racing scene, for me it seems exciting. It's interesting to see like what a player like that is going to bring to a unique or a div card design.
Yeah, I'm really also divination card, of course. I feel like that is. I mean, GTG they don't really do like cash prizes. I don't think, right? In the past, we've had also some other events like not Awaken or Kill event. Wait, was there Awaken or Kill event? I don't think so. But there was one for killing long time ago when they released Act 4 for the first time. You had to kill Malachi Act 4 in hardcore. Not Act 4, like the Merciless difficulty, and you could get a laptop. I think Carverauskas won that or somebody. And so, but there were no monetary prizes. They were just either physical or in this case, like digital goods. But I mean, we don't expect the PoE to go down anytime soon, right? To fail.
Oh no, I don't think so.
So having some kind of this is like really like a signature of your commitment to the game. You won these races. You made your unique. It's there in the game forever. How cool is that? Oh,
it is really cool.
I wish I wasn't so trash at the game.
Me too. What do you think you would like? Let's say you won a race. Let's say you won a big race. You beat everybody. GGG goes to you and says, "All right, you can design a unique." What would you do?
Oh man, what would I do? A unique. Well, let's think about. I mean, there's. I mean, I would like exploding mode, of course, but that's never gonna happen. Exploding mode would be nice. That's not gonna happen, though.
So
Something,
some kind of item that
for
made
clear
big
speed.
explosions.
Yeah, but chain explode. But that's never gonna happen. So let's. But that would be really nice. I mean, since they removed that, yeah, the game's not the same. It's still fine, right? But it's not the same. The exploding mod was really great. Every league, I would get it every league. It was so good. But that's never gonna happen. So actually, some kind of. I wouldn't want to make a leveling unique also. But something that helps a specific build. So maybe something that helps some ignite build or, you know, similar vibes as that, you know, there's that ring, I think, from Ritual that converts all your ignite damage to chaos damage, right?
Yep, Black Flame, yep. I'm actually looking for that.
Yeah,
I
so
might
something like that.
I think there's a couple of different, I don't know, I guess schools of thought about that. Like, if you had the chance to add something to the game, would you want something that is really common and that people would see a lot or may potentially filter out? Would you want something big that's like a big chase item? Would you want something that's like niche and is kind of reflective of your interests or what you play? Like
chase item all the way.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Because it just makes you feel good when people are like, you know, ripping each other's hairs out for this. Like, gimme, gimme, gimme. No? Like, if there was a individual who actually designed Mage Blood, oh, how satisfying is that? Everybody loves your unique. Everybody's like saying, oh my god, this shit's so OP, nerf it, and you're like, oh, just this is the best. Or maybe, yes, somebody said that I should make a flask. Flask would be cool also. I like flasks. Unique flasks would be cool. But I was thinking, actually, one thing what we don't have in this game, one thing that I don't think we have in this game is lightning dot. What if you could make a lightning dot? Because you know there's lots of like these uniques that your enemy's resistance, lightning resistance is your lightning resistance or something like that, you know?
Yeah, Doriani's prototype, right?
So lightning dot, like you could convert ignites in lightning dots, or you could convert physical dots in lightning dots, right? Because the phys to lightning conversion is already a thing. So what if you could convert phys dots into lightning dots? Some kind of, I don't know, probably some kind of weapon it should be. Some kind of weapon.
That's really interesting.
That would be cool.
That also sounds like a big challenge for someone at GGG to code.
Yes. Probably.
I bet you they let you do it though.
Yeah, well, I mean, in that sense, it would. I don't think it would be very strong though, because there exists this. I mean, exists this thing, right? Doriani's prototype, right? That lets you lower the resistance so far that this would be so freaking OP. So this the only way this thing would work would be combining this. That would be like best in slot, right? So they would have to make it pretty weak for everything else to make this reasonably balanced for this one edge case. But yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I think it's interesting to think about, like, what kind of impact would you, if you had the chance, would you have on the game, you know?
Yeah, that would be so cool though.
I think that's like the biggest and most difficult part of that decision, if you have the chance to do that. I don't know, I honestly don't know what I would do.
You don't
have
know
no
what
idea.
you would make.
I honestly have no idea. The thing that I worry about is like okay, I would want to design something that people actually use, but at the same time, like if I do that, it would have to be common. And then how do you design something that's common but people don't filter out?
Well,
You know what I
mean? That's very difficult because that's something common would be like a transition item or leveling item, right? Yeah, something very common. That's why I would rather choose to make a chase item than something common or something. I mean, it still has uses, right? But it's just people don't really go for that anymore. It only is useful, very useful, you know, like tabula rasa or your gold rims and so forth. They're very useful, but only at the beginning of your character's life.
Yeah, maybe a leveling item is the best play. You know, something that people
That will always
throw on, run
be
through the
good though.
campaign, and then take off.
And people keep using all those leveling items still on their characters. Every new character gets to use it, so they're still really good. Also, but something like 7 League Steps, for example. Chase item, but also leveling item, right?
Yep, true. True. And yeah, there can be chase leveling items, huh?
Yeah.
Like the old delve gloves,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
That's really cool. I really liked that event. Like the rewards especially. I mean, I wasn't watching anybody play because these people make me feel like a little, you know, noob. Plus, I didn't want spoilers, you know. Let's go with that explanation. I didn't want spoilers.
I remember watching Ventura for a little bit in his practice. He was doing like one sitting Awakener runs. And I remember like the thing that stuck out to me the most is like how little of each map he runs, especially in Reds. Like he just runs in the map, kills the boss, maybe a couple of other packs, and leaves. And you just sort of depend on the map boss to drop you a connected map.
Wow.
To get your progression. Like
Damn.
I don't know how you get to that point where you just feel comfortable doing that, but maybe it's because I'm not a racer.
Yeah, no, I'm like all the things I'm getting in the maps, I need to do them. I have to press on all the essences and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean we're not racers, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
we're not
We look at the
racers.
league as a 3-month
Thing.
thing, not like a 3-day thing.
Yeah,
So
pretty
maybe
much.
that's why.
Pretty much that's why. So, yeah.
Yep.
I think we pretty much covered everything. I gonna tell thank you for joining me on this nice chat along, play along session. Hopefully you got some of that RNG rubbed up on you.
It did actually. I finally found my deer stalkers. So thank you for the
Nice.
RNG.
GG. And yeah, hopefully your league is prosperous. And I'll see you, you know, around the town of Wraeclast.
Mara, thanks so much for having me. I had a ton of fun. I hope your league start's been great. I'm looking forward to catching your stream and seeing how you do, and watching you drop some more filthy RNG headhunters and whatever else comes out. I can't wait to see it.
All right, bye chat. Say bye to chat. Thanks chat for sticking with us and listening and joining, writing in chat as well. If you don't know Aphelion, go follow him. He's really cool dude. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time for more Path of Exile fun.